ARCI Durban provides an exclusive rehab treatment for alcoholism and drug addiction. The only rehab in South Africa that offers a medical detox treatment. We offer a superior, evidence-based and medically cutting-edge approach to the treatment of addiction. If you have been frustrated by repeated failures at rehab recovery or are unaware that there are proven anti-craving medications that can significantly improve treatment outcomes, give us a confidential call to learn more about ARCA Durban's rehab program. Contact ARCA Durban on 078-2722-911 24 hours or call our office number 031-261-5515 and our Johannesburg number on 0622-770-911. Office number 011-656-0705.
The south coast of Durban is known for its pristine coastline, beautiful blue beaches, lush forests, and hidden gems. It's become the holiday destination for tourists and locals. Positioned in Scottsboro is the Blue Marlin Hotel, another fantastic destination to visit. Attentive staff with smiles all round make for a guaranteed pleasurable experience. Delicacies catered from either their a la carte or lavish buffet menus are sure to tantalize and satisfy. The accommodation boasts nothing but the best for a luxurious overnight stay, and here at the Blue Marlin Hotel, you are sure to receive that experience. Violence, child labor, trafficking, sexual exploitation, female genital mutilation, child marriage, abuse, and more. Sounds horrendous. Millions of children worldwide experience the worst kind of rights violations. Millions more, not yet victims, are inadequately protected unless we all step in and do our bit to protect them. Good day and welcome to African Essence. I am Leanne Jacobs. We will be discussing and focusing on children, the victims, and their protection. UNICEF uses the term child protection to refer to prevention and response to violence, exploitation, and abuse of children in all contexts. This includes reaching children who are especially vulnerable to these threats, such as those living without family care, on the streets, or in situations of conflict or natural disasters. Violence against children remains a critical challenge facing South African society today, despite tremendous efforts to curb this scourge. Let's take a look at articles on child abuse. Every child deserves to grow up safe from harm. Parental guidance is needed as you watch these videos which circulated. Painful, isn't it? That children still suffer a horrible fate. We have failed them.
Well, at this point, I can tell you that the protest action continues here in Phoenix, and more and more community members are joining in on the action here. This preschool or crèche has not opened its gates this morning because community members and parents, they are saying it can only reopen once action has been taken against the teacher who's alleged to have abused a 2-year-old here. The teacher, according to circulating videos here, the teacher is said to have pushed the child who fell, and then he was injured. There were wounds on his nose and mouth, and I can tell you that his parents are not impressed with what transpired here. But the school is saying it's going to comment a little bit later on. We tried by all means to get a comment from the school principal. We'll go back to that bite, but for now we are joined here by Karen Reddy, who is the grandmother of the 2-year-old. Thank you very much for your time. How is your grandson doing?
He's not doing too well. He has bruising to his nose. He has a swollen nose, and he has bruising to his forehead. He was kicked by his teacher, a place that we call a creche, supposed to be protecting our children, and it's not done here, which is sad. There's videos to prove that the child has been kicked by the teacher, appalling behavior. We just want justice to be done, a place of safety. Other children that come to the creche, their parents need to know what's going on at this creche. All we demand is answers, and a place of love must stay as a place of love.
I've seen some pictures of your grandson. On the day of the incident, he came to this place in a jovial mood, in a very bubbly mood. It seems as if he, during the end or at the end of the day, that's when things went bad.
Yes, on the 23rd, the school asked us to dress our children to a heritage function or a heritage day, and my son was dressed up accordingly. He was very bubbly, and I'm sure when I drop him off in the morning, he's always greeting the parents. When I'm leaving with him in the afternoon, he's a very bubbly child. The day that he came home on the 23rd, we've seen his nose that was swollen, and it raised a concern when my son had to come to the creche and, to his disappointment, see a little 2-year-old booted by his teacher playing with his toy is unacceptable.
Okay.
Child abuse rears its ugly head once again in the community of Phoenix in Durban. Charlotte Bucks chats to Loretta, the senior social worker at Child Welfare Phoenix.
Loretta, welcome to African Essence. Thank you for the work that you do. Tell us more about children's rights.
Hi Charlotte, good to be with you. Phoenix Child Welfare is an NGO and the only accredited child protection organization that provides holistic and quality social services to Phoenix, Mount Moriah and Mount Royal. And with our core function being child protection, our aim is to ensure the safety and protection of all children. And this is achieved through preventative and early intervention programs, as well as through statutory interventions and continuing care services. That means we basically work at all levels to ensure the rights of children. When we talk of the rights of children, we are basically talking about the child's basic needs, which is food, water, shelter, education and medical care. In addition to that, we also refer to the child's right to immunization, birth registration, child development, and most importantly, love and acceptance.
Thank you, Loretta. Let us talk about Phoenix in particular. Recently, there was a case that we were all rather alarmed about, the child that was burnt. Tell us about similar cases that you've worked with.
Due to confidentiality, I am not at liberty to discuss this particular case, but I can confirm that the matter only reached our organization after the incident. Hence, we urge community members and children to report abuse immediately so that we can respond adequately. Often matters only reach us once the damage has been done. We are really saddened that yet again another child has passed on, and our deepest sympathies to the bereaved family. But we are finding that Phoenix is riddled with child abuse and neglect. And 90% of the time, perpetrators are known to the victim. Recent tragedies pertaining to children were a result of a lack of adult supervision, children left unattended. And we're also finding that parents tend to abandon their children, and grandparents are forced to raise these kids with minimal support and resources. The rate of physical and psychological abuse to children is alarming, and all of these factors are resulting in an increase in mental health issues with children. The rate of divorce, extramarital affairs are causing total disarray in families, a complete breakdown of the family unit.
That is very sad to hear, Loretta. What are we as a community doing wrong or not doing that children become victims of such horrendous crimes?
You know, given the social ills that plague our society, many people are afraid to report abuse. And we find that women and children stay in abusive relationships because they are financially dependent on the perpetrator. Children are also afraid to report, and they don't want to be blamed for the breakup of their families. Parents also do not prioritize the rights of their children and are therefore unable to make right decisions pertaining to their children's well-being and care.
There are quite a few factors in place, and that is how we're getting children being abused. Tell me the role of child welfare and how do you offer children protection?
Okay, like I stated earlier, we address child abuse at different levels. Firstly, we conduct ongoing awareness programs at creches, at schools, religious and community organizations, and we highlight the types of abuse, how you can keep yourself safe, and what to do if you are a victim of abuse. If we do receive a matter or a case where a child has been abused, we immediately go out to the child. We conduct a risk assessment. Depending on the outcome of the risk assessment, we may or may not contact a family. We ensure the safety of the child. We ensure a charge is opened, medicals are done, treatment is administered if needed, and we then determine a safe place for the child. If we have supportive family, we are able via a court order to remove the perpetrator from the home. In that way, we do not displace the child. Child remains in their home with other family members, etc. So that's basically our role when we do receive a matter of abuse, and then we render ongoing therapeutic services, psychosocial support to the child, to the family. We may even we follow up on the criminal matter, and we do testify if need be. Depending on the outcome of the risk assessment, we may engage with family or not. We ensure that criminal charges are opened, a medical is completed, treatment is administered if necessary. We then secure a safe place for the child. We may even have the perpetrator removed from the home via court order, should we have the support of other family members. In that way, the child is not displaced and the child remains with family and within their own home. We then render ongoing therapeutic services, supportive psychosocial services to the child and or the family. We determine a long-term plan for the child, ensuring the best interest of the child. We may even contribute to the criminal matter by providing relevant evidence, and we may even be called to testify on the child's behalf.
It's good to know that such measures are in place. To children that are listening or know other children that are victims of child abuse, what can they do to help themselves or help others? Where is a safe place, or what do they do?
Okay, when we conduct our awareness programs at schools, or we encourage children to draw up a safety net. So we advise them to list at least 5 people that they can trust with their contact numbers. And should they feel unsafe or be placed in a compromising situation, we advise them to talk about it. They need to tell and tell until someone hears them. And when we say hear, we're not just saying somebody listening to them, but somebody that's going to take action, believe them, report the matter, and ultimately ensure that they are safe going forward. Okay, when conducting our awareness programs, we get children to draw a safety net. We get them to write down names of at least 5 individuals whom they trust, and we encourage them to tell and tell until somebody hears them. And when we say hear, we mean somebody that would listen to them, believe them, and obviously report the matter to the relevant stakeholders and ensure their safety. We also distribute contact details of the relevant stakeholders that can assist children in a crisis situation, that being ourselves, Childline, the South African Police Services, local hospital, Department of Health, etc.
Thank you, Loretta. Tell us more about street children. Driving here, we saw many of them on the way. How do we help them? How do we get them off the streets? Or what help can we offer them?
Okay, although street children is not an ambit of our service, it is that of the Department of Social Development. Our organization has been very proactive with regards to having some of these children removed and placed in places of safety. Many of these children do come from poverty-stricken homes. Some of them do present with behavior problems. Some of them have been exposed to substances, if not abusing substances themselves. We'd encourage members of the community to report such matters to the Department of Social Development or the South African Social Services. I think supporting them by giving them money or other items just encourages that kind of lifestyle. So it would be best to report the matter so that the relevant and appropriate intervention can be administered.
Poverty is one of the major contributing factors to child neglect. Tell us more about the other factors that lead to child abandonment and neglect.
Charlotte, I totally agree. Poverty is a major contributing factor. Many households have no sources of income. Some are totally dependent on a state grant, which obviously is inadequate to sustain a whole family. Many households are single-headed, and with the one parent working, children are left unattended. As parents cannot afford aftercare, there's no supportive family, they cannot secure a responsible adult to watch over the kids. So kids are left unattended, and obviously that poses a risk to children. Some parents are just irresponsible and do not want the responsibility of parenting, and they choose to abandon and neglect their kids. We find a total loss of values, total loss of spirituality. So there's a complete breakdown of the family unit. And when this happens, obviously the children are at risk.
That is very sad to hear. Tell us more about drug addiction and alcohol abuse and how it affects the lives of children.
Substance abuse has taken over our community. It is easily accessible to children, to teenagers, to young adults, and this has been destroying the home, the family unit. We find that it leads to domestic violence, it leads to abuse in children, and as child welfare, we often have to intervene. We have to provide a safe house for the mother and the child or children, render the necessary support, ensure that there are protection orders in place, protecting them, ensuring their safety. However, there is a lack of resources to deal with substance abuse. We do not have much rehabilitation centers that will render the necessary treatment to substance abusers. So obviously the problem escalates.
Quite disheartening to hear. Tell us, how can the community get in touch with you if they need any assistance?
Okay, our offices are based here in Whetstone, Phoenix, 10 Featherstone Place, Whetstone, Phoenix. We are open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. We are accessible on the phone as well. Our number is 031 500 3671. Also, we have a website. It's www.pcw.org.za. Here, or you can drop us an email, info@pcw.org.za.
Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for your time and letting us know what we can do as a community as well.
Thank you, Charlotte. It's been an absolute pleasure.
High levels of violence, abuse, exploitation, and neglect of our children exist in South Africa. And these children are affected emotionally and physically with long-lasting psychological consequences. Let us all do our bit to help our children. iCare is an organization dealing with children, and their aim is to be the leading organization that solves the problems of street children in South Africa. They do this through their Christian faith and by understanding and addressing every aspect of each child's needs, to grow sustainably and to partner with the authorities and like-minded organizations. They have been actively involved in helping children and removing them off the streets, rehabilitating them, and effectively changing their lives. Let's take a look.
Hi, thank you for having me. My name is Tobe Gwala, and I work for the LHC Foundation, trading as iCare. I am the social worker here at iCare. We started LHC Foundation in 2002 by this amazing person, Graham Cochrane, in memory of his father, Lawrence Cochrane. He started this organization as a way to give to the public as he was a giver and a Christian man. And Graham, seeing that there was a lot of children on the streets, he was concerned, and then he started this foundation or organization as an awareness campaign to say to the public, do not give street children money, rather invest in their future. So iCare work with street children. We have an amazing circle that contributes to the end results of the products or the children that we want at the end of the process. So our circle starts with the outreach. We've got our guys going out to the streets by the robots where you usually see our children, inviting them to a future and giving them hope for the future, telling them about the good news of the Lord and obviously of where they could be in life. So our outreach workers go out there and work with these children, play with these children, and then invite them to our drop-in center. In our drop-in center, we also have an amazing team, our social workers, child and youth care workers, where we work with these children to take them back into being children again. We offer psychosocial counseling, we offer hot meals, we offer hot showers, and obviously we play with them, we give them love. So the team at the drop-in center do a lot of groundwork in order to prepare these children to move to our next phase, which is the rehabilitation center. In our rehabilitation center, we also take these children from being drug users into drug-free people, and with a clear mind to have visions for their lives, to know where they want to go in life, and obviously to imagine everything else that they want for their own lives. When we are done with the rehabilitation, we take them back to their homes, obviously, because they have families at the end of the day. They need to go back to their families and contribute to family reunion, to families. And some of them who do not have a good background, we put them in a child and youth care center where there is a 24-hour staff that lives with them, working with them as parents, as mentors, to give them hope in life and to give them life as children needs to get back to being children again. So in our lower Ilovo, we've got 3 beautiful houses, as I've mentioned, with our beautiful staff that give our children all the love that they need to go back to being children again. With us, we've seen a lot of transformation with our children, from being street beggars, as you see them on the streets, into drug-free children who have hope for the future and that have visions and goals for their future, and meeting their wildest dreams that they've always dreamed about. Currently, or in the last over 20 years that we've been with iCare, we've seen children transforming in the most beautiful way. We've got children that are now university graduates. We've got college graduates. We've got children that are on colleges, finishing up their diplomas and doing their internships. We've got children that are now in the job market already. So we have seen iCare transforming these children into something that we had hoped that the organization would do for them at the end of their circle. So Life on the streets is it exposes these children to danger. They do petty crimes. They are in an unsafe environment. So for ICARE to go out there to reach out to these children is something that is beautiful for them, because now they have a future. Now they have things that they look forward to in life. How can you help ICARE? You can donate to our beautiful project, and just donate to us, and we'll continue to do the work that we do to transform the children of Durban and surroundings. Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining us on African Essence. Don't forget to please follow us on Facebook and Instagram, the African Essence TV show. And you can also tune in to our sister show, Dining and Vibing in South Africa. Till next week, goodbye and God bless.
A time when we heed a certain call, when the world must come together as one. There are people dying. Oh, when it's time to lend a hand to life, the greatest gift of all. We can't go on pretending day by day that someone somewhere will soon make a change. We all a part of God's great big family, and the truth, you know, love is all we need. We are the world, we are the children, we are the ones who make a brighter day, so let's start giving. There's a choice we're making, we're saving our own lives. It's true, we make a better day, just you and me. Well, send them your heart, so they know that someone cares, and their lives will be stronger and free, as God has shown us by turning stone to bread. And so we all must lend a helping hand. We are the world, we are the children, we are the one to make a brighter day, so let's start giving. Oh, there's a choice we're making, we're saving our lives. It's true, we make a better day, just you and me. When you're
ARCA Durban provides an exclusive rehab treatment for alcoholism and drug addiction. The only rehab in South Africa that offers a medical detox treatment. We offer a superior, evidence-based and medically cutting-edge approach to the treatment of addiction. If you have been frustrated by repeated failures at rehab recovery or are unaware that there are proven anti-craving medications that can significantly improve treatment outcomes, give us a confidential call to learn more about ARCA Durban's rehab program. Contact ARCA Durban on 078-2722-911 24 hours or call our office number 031-261-5515 and our Johannesburg number on 0622-770-911. Office number 011-656-0705.
The south coast of Durban is known for its pristine coastline, beautiful blue beaches, lush forests, and hidden gems. It's become the holiday destination for tourists and locals. Positioned in Scottsboro is the Blue Marlin Hotel, another fantastic destination to visit. Attentive staff with smiles all round make for a guaranteed pleasurable experience. Delicacies catered from either their a la carte or lavish buffet menus are sure to tantalize and satisfy. The accommodation boasts nothing but the best for a luxurious overnight stay, and here at the Blue Marlin Hotel, you are sure to receive that experience.